We got some big time football going down in the Superdome, baby. We got some big time football. It's week 16. New Orleans Saints taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. All flights is canceled. We done landed in the Bayou. We done landed on Bourbon Street. We out here to spoil Mardi Gras, although it's not going on. What James Farrier used to say, it's a 5-star matchup because we in it. Well, guess what? We here, baby. Let me tell you something. The New Orleans Saints are a very capable team. In my opinion, they are the most complete team in football outside of the Los Angeles Chargers. But right now, they are the best team in the league. And the way that I see it, whenever we got our backs up against the wall, we're playing the best. We make sure we come out and we play Pittsburgh Steelers football. Number one, the New Orleans Saints have a very capable team, offensively and defensively. Over the past 6 weeks, they have been the best defense in football, and they have not let up at all outside of the Cowboys game, but they did what they had to do. But we ain't talking about that right now. Offensively, you already know where Drew Brees ranks, all-time leading passer. You got two beasts in the backfield, in Mark Ingram, or I should say Mark fuck out of here, Adrian Peterson Ingram, but we ain't talking about that right now. You got Alvin Shinsuke Nakamura. These guys are some beasts back there. However, over the past 3 weeks, they have underperformed. In fact, they are in the bottom half of the league over the course of the past 3 weeks against the Cowboys, against the Buccaneers, against the Panthers. They have not performed offensively. Why is that? Well, number one, the offense of the opposing team has taken care of the football. When we're talking about time of possession, holding on to the ball, especially the Cowboys. That's how they were able to win this game. Now, granted, they were playing at home. New Orleans was on the road. They're a completely different team when they're on the road versus when they're at home. First thing we got to worry about, as a defense, we got to be able to contain Mike Williams. We cannot let this man go all over our defense. Pardon me, did I say Mike Williams? Sorry about that. I got the Chargers on my mind. Michael goddamn Thomas. Don't let me get it wrong again. I got the dreadlocks on my mind. I'm thinking about Alvin Shinsuke Nakamura in the backfield. Not all black people look the same. One may have dreadlocks. The other may not have dreadlocks, but it don't matter. We ain't talking about that right now. What we talking about over here is we got those two beasts in the backfield. We got to make sure we shut down. Also, Michael Thomas outside, we got to make sure we shut him down. He has the highest catch radius in the league, or I should say catch percentage. I believe it's at about 85, 84, 83, something around that area. All right, we got to make sure we contain him. Hayden, you got to do your job. Sensible, you got to do your job. Audie, stay on the bench. We don't need you on the field. Now, when we're talking about those beasts coming out the backfield, the 3 consecutive games in which the offense has underperformed, not Ingram, not Kamara, none of them have gone over 100 yards. In fact, I think their highest total was when they went 67 or 64 apiece against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Outside of that, they were limited. How do we do that? It starts with our front 4. We got to be able to generate pressure on when Drew Brees drops back, and also when they're trying to run the ball, we got to be able to push those linemen back to force them to have to bounce outside, or they have to make a decision and use their vision. And from that point, our linebackers will have already condensed and corralled them in the backfield. That's what we need to do. Shut down the run. Tell you the truth, as crazy as it sounds, I would rather this game become the Drew Brees show. Why that is, I understand. Our secondary has been somewhat abysmal throughout the entire season. They've had some games in which they performed. They've had other games in which they looked like absolute basura. But I want this to be a one-dimensional game to where we force Drew Brees to play one brand of football, because if we know what they're going to come out and we know they're only going to throw the ball, I feel better in our defense because we get to unleash the pass rush. The Saints have injuries on their offensive line. If I'm mistaken or not, they have 2 starters who are not playing. When I hear that, I think Blitzburg. When I think Blitzburg, I think we're putting Drew Brees' old body on the turf. We got to make sure our pass rush is elite this particular game. I'm going to need Cameron Hayward, who's not on the injury report no more. He's going to have to get into the backfield. Stephon Tuitt, I'm going to need him to get into the backfield. When we put in the rotations and Alualu comes in, we're going to need him in the backfield. TJ Watt, you already know what I need you to do. Turn up the voltage, 90 watts, get into the backfield, sack the quarterback, stop the running backs behind the line of scrimmage. All right, now when we're talking about coverage, like I said already, we got to be able to stop Michael Thomas. More importantly, I believe Ted Ginn might be coming back this particular game. So we got to stop those crossing patterns and stopping this man from doing the wheel route from the slot going outside. We cannot allow ourselves to get beat by double moves. Now let's move to the offensive side. This is where our strength lies and their strength on defense. You already heard what Cameron Jordan had to say about Big Ben. Talking about, well, I don't know if he's Hall of Fame. I'd put Eli in front of him. To Cam Jordan, I have this to say.
Again with plenty of time now. Makes makes a move and sets up the touchdown.
Wind up. Let's see that again.
There's an unblocked defender. He's working through his...
I see that again. That was clear.
There's an unblocked defender. He's working through his...
Cameron, replay that?
There's an unblocked defender. He's working through his...
Can I see that again?
There's an unblocked defender. He's working through his...
And replay.
Just makes 94 miss.
Gee, I wonder who that was.
Cameron? Cam?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Enough about that. Now, when we're moving on to the rest of the Saints defense, you already know they have some capable names in the secondary out there, but we can take them apart. Juju Smith-Schuster scared us on, I believe it was Thursday or Friday, whatever the case was, whatever the day was, it was something with a groin. However, he did reassure us he will be playing tomorrow, so that's great. We're going to have him on the field. Now, James Conner, he's going to be out. He doesn't feel confident in his health at the current time to go, so Jalen Samuels, we're going to roll with him. You saw the man come out there and perform last week. Do I expect to see the exact same turnout? Probably not. But if you can give us a production between 80 yards on the ground, we can win this game and run the football effectively, because you already know where I'm going with this. We need to get third and manageable. More importantly, Antonio Brown has been due a huge game for some time, and I refuse to believe he's going to finish out the season without having that explosion of a game since we played the Chargers. So I'm expecting this man to go off. As for Juju, I expect him to be a possession receiver this particular game, where we're moving the chains. We're going to hit him on a sideline, on a curl here, a squirrel there, a small slant here and there. We're going to be able to move the chains. But Vance McDonald has to be our X factor, because if we can utilize the middle of the field on the Saints defense and throw effectively there, I believe we'll be able to move the chains all day and have no problem with their defense. All right? And we're not even talking about running the ball, more importantly. And our defensive, or I should say our offensive line, we got to be able to protect Ben. We can't let pressure get to our quarterback, because you've already seen the entire season when the pocket starts to break down, he starts to throw lobs up there and it gets intercepted. If we lose the turnover margin, this game's done. This game is done. We have been terrible with taking the football away this season. Absolutely terrible. Our plus minus is like minus 10 or minus 11 or something. It's something ridiculous. I think we're in the bottom 5 of the league. So we got to be able to go out there, take care of the football. And if we're running the ball, we got to commit to the run like we did last week. We can't go out there, have a couple of positives run here. We'll have a 4-yard run, a 7-yard run, a 6-yard run, and all of a sudden now we're going in empty and throwing all day. No, we can run the football here. They are number 1 against the run, but I've touched on it many different times when we're talking about New Orleans. They played majority of the season with the lead. When you play with the lead, the opposing team will not run the ball, because if you run the ball and then you get stopped and all this other stuff, you're already killing clock. You're killing your chances of possibly going down the field and scoring. If you go back-to-back runs, gains of no yardage, all of a sudden now let me throw it incomplete, I'm off the field, the Saints come back on, they on the field controlling time possession. So if you up against a team, you're gonna go, and when you're trying to play catch up, you throw the ball. So that's one of the reasons why the Saints are number 1. However, they are no slouches when it comes to run defense. We're gonna have to test them, go out there. All right, we gotta test them. All right, Mike Tomlin, you might as well go show up to the game, pull out a couple of Scantrons, because we gotta test the Saints defense to see how good they really are against the run. But I'm confident we can walk into New Orleans and walk out with a W, because we're going to find out at the conclusion of tonight where we stand in the AFC North. Because if the Ravens go out there and lose, all we got to do is win, and we guaranteed ourselves a playoff spot. If the Ravens win, hey, it's balls to the wall come Sunday afternoon tomorrow. Because if we lose, all of a sudden the Ravens are number 1 in the division, and now we got to fight to try to see if we can get a wild card spot. All right, so it's business got to be taken care of, because all we can take care of is us. Only thing we can control is us. We can't just sit over here and hope and pray that the Chargers go out there and take care of business, because I ain't worried about what nobody else doing. What we're worried about is what the Pittsburgh Steelers Steelers is doing. And what the Pittsburgh Steelers going to do tomorrow afternoon, we're going into Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We're walking out with a W. Did I say Mercedes-Benz Stadium? Pardon me. Am I thinking of the Falcons? No, I'm not. They're not on the mind. They ain't shit. What we're talking about here is the Superdome, brother. And we're going to go and get ourselves a W and walking out 9-5-1. Why? Because we're the goddamn Pittsburgh Steelers. Everybody get your goddamn hands up in here. Steelers on 3, win on 6. 1, 2, 3 Steelers, 4, 5, 6 win. I think I got CTE. I'm done misspeaking out here. But I'm excited about tomorrow. You see the perspiration coming down my face. Let's go, baby. Big time game.